Good morning, crypto Twitter is missing crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included. It's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, making money at the same time. Spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z. About to change the world, so y'all better get ready. Missing crypto, I'm never backing down. I got a wax account. You should check it out. So many NFTs, I think I lost count, and I'm only getting started. Yeah, I'm barely off the ground. Listing crypto, you cannot stop me. My hands are made from diamonds, your hands fall like origami. Never be the boss of me. Bitcoin's all I need. When I say I'm zesty, that's just me talking honestly. Crypto and yum bomb marketplace. I wanna see the more. We gotta go through cyberspace. Leave this world without a trace. Save a for a different day, 'cause we partners in the cryptos didn't stay.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. I hope you guys are having a very zesty Friday. There was a technical difficulty for some reason with my stream, so everyone, if you could redirect everyone to this new link, that would be splendid. But I hope you guys are feeling well this week. I know that it's been a rough one, but before we hop into today's zesty show, I want to thank three amazing sponsors of the Miss Teen Crypto Show. First being Wax Blockchain. I believe they are hosting a space, or they had a space on Wednesday. Super cool, always involved with the community. If you guys are looking to trade and earn, buy those Wax NFTs, create Wax NFTs. NFTblocks.com, the second sponsor of the Miss Teen Crypto Show, is your spot. Thirdly, we have Ballet. Ballet is absolutely awesome. The link for all of my sponsors are in the live chat and in the description. Today during the show, our zesty guest BitBoy will choose a keyword for you guys to enter in the chat. So stay tuned for that, and one of you guys will win a zesty Ballet wallet. You'll send me your email on Twitter, and I'll hook you guys up with the Ballet team. And I will drop a free NFT for you guys. We have 8 likes. If we get 15, I will drop another one. But thank you guys for tuning in. I see you guys flowing in. You guys are absolutely awesome. Please hit the subscribe, smash the like, share this stream out. But let's get into it with today's guest, Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy Crypto. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm doing really good. And I think this week has certainly been exciting, to say the least. So, thanks for having me. I can't wait to get in and talk about some of it.
Absolutely. I've had you on the show before. It's been quite the while. You're in a new studio now. How is that?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, these are, bull market things, right? When things were really bullish, we bought a 40,000 square foot studio, and we finally just got approved by the county here to build inside. So we're getting ready to build 8 new studios inside. And the idea is they're not all going to be my studios. We have other shows that we run here. We have a larger company now called Hit Network, and I'm also the founder of. That we're going to allow people in the local Atlanta area where we're at to come in and make content here. Once those studios are done, we have a recording studio. We have a joint venture with Akon to where we're going to be doing some music NFT stuff here pretty soon. So just big things happening all the way around here.
Wow. So, and you're planning for people to come in and use your studio, just like someone could book it, like a room?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll have like hourly or monthly. I think we want to go with like monthly. We even talked about the idea of bouncing around of having a set number of slots, and you have to buy an NFT package. When you get that NFT, that reserves those slots for you for every month that you have it. And then, the idea would be after you got done using it, if you want to do your own studio or move on, then you can resell the NFT and it should go up in value, kind of thing. We're trying to do some fun crypto stuff here that makes sense for people. We want to make sure that, it's something that's fair to everybody as well.
Absolutely. I think that's great. Definitely tie in NFTs with something like that. I would love to, see being able to book a room like an Airbnb somewhere with an NFT. I definitely think things like that are coming. We've had a really rough go of it this week. What are your thoughts on the markets right now? Are you scared? All this red, all the Bitcoin being down, going in the 20s. It was like a big ouchie for people. How are you feeling?
Okay, so let's go back a year ago and let's look at what happened with last May. I think it's really important for people to understand the context and the difference between what we're looking at today and the difference what we saw last year. So in May of last year, when the price plummeted, I think it went down 62% total, somewhere around there, from 64K all the way down to 28.5. That was a sucker punch because we were not supposed to see a drop that big in the middle of a bull market. We know when our bull and bear cycle should be approximately based on the Bitcoin halving and the 4-year cycles that we've seen since the beginning. So I got to say, last May was brutal. Like it came out of nowhere, you had Elon Musk tweeting about environmental FUD about Bitcoin, that was very negative. And some people would make an argument that stifled the entire bull run cycle there. And the price dropped and it hurt. This is different because where we're at right now, we were prepared for, because we are during the time that is where we should be at a traditional downswing for Bitcoin, a traditional bear market. So we are actually putting together a video here where we're looking at the previous Bitcoin cycles and trying to draw assumptions for this cycle based on the previous ones. And, when we originally wrote out this video, it was 2 weeks ago, and the price was 22% above where it should have been during this bear market. Well, this week we had to rewrite the video because we were getting ready to publish it on Saturday, tomorrow. And in between when we wrote the video and when we were going to publish it, now the price is corrected to literally exactly where it should be according to the historical bear cycles of Bitcoin. And that puts us on pace right now for an 85% drop all the way down to $10,300. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, that's what history says. What history says is that 10,300 should be where we're looking. Some people would make an argument for 6,500 based on, if you were to look at $64,000 is the top of the retail sentiment, you could make an argument it could be lower. Now, I can't sit here. What I said on my show this morning is I can't sit here with be intellectually honest with you and tell you I believe it's going to $10,300. Yeah. Because I don't believe that it is, even though the evidence suggests that it is. An 85% drop is traditionally normal for Bitcoin. We're exactly on track for that drop. But what I'd say is if we went back to the bull market and we looked at Plan B's, the stock to flow model, we were exactly on target for 100K plus Bitcoin, 130,000 minimum dollar Bitcoin, according to Plan B. In December, we were right on track with that for most of the cycle. But when it broke and it went off, we got way off track. And of course, we never got above $69,000. So even though right now it looks like we're on track for that, I don't see it going below 20. It certainly could. I don't see it going below 20. I don't see it going probably, even if it did, maybe a dip to 17 and back up. But we're looking at a lot of historical factors here. We've never returned below a 4-year cycle top, which we would have to do if we went below $20,000. So there is another argument here that we bottomed. And that argument would basically be this. Okay. That when we got the $64,000 top, okay, that was actually the top of Bitcoin last April. The $69,000 top that we got in the fall was purely institutional driven to create FOMO at the top to sell their bags to retail investors at $69,000. As all of a sudden people are like, oh, this is going to be, this is going to be going up to 100,000, like a lot of us thought it would. And then a lot of people got left holding the bag. And we know that the large reason why that happened was because the Bitcoin ETF, the futures ETFs, got approved. So basically, we're going to be doing a video on Thursday. We're going to be putting out. It's on what we're calling the false top, the false cycle top theory, which is that we actually got a false top on the second go round. And if that's the case, if you look at April being the actual top of the market, sentiment wise, retail investor wise, then it makes sense that 13 months later, we should be at a bottom. So I think there are some arguments. I put it probably about 20 to 25% that we bottomed. I think there is probably another leg down. History would suggest the end of November is when we should be looking for the bottom.
End of November, so we still have like a little way to go until we see that bottom. And do you think we're just gonna keep kind of cycling down, or it's gonna be a rough one? We're gonna have a rough summer. No one's having yacht parties this summer.
Oh, nobody's having yacht parties this summer.
Oh no.
Even if Yeah, I think if you look back at the history of the bear markets, one thing has signaled the bottom of the market, or at least the beginning of the fall to the bottom of the market, in those midterm elections. The midterm elections in 2016, in 2014 and 2018, within 3 to 4 weeks after that would be when we get a bottom. And you can kind of see that playing out here, where, if you look politically right now, we try to be very bipartisan on my show and talk about, being politically agnostic when it comes to crypto. If somebody says something dumb about crypto, I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. But right now, a lot of people on the left, on the Democratic side, are the ones that are trying to put in a lot of regulation towards crypto. They're the ones that put Janet Yellen in. They're the ones that support Gary Gensler. They're the ones that support Jerome Powell. They're the ones that support Elizabeth Warren, Brad Sherman, all of these people, right? So with the economy where it is, there's no way that the current party would stay in power with a recession. We will get a flip there. And you can kind of see that towards the end of November, we could get a lot of instability, but then all of a sudden they start trying to push some of these people that are out on the fringe out. And now there's a more bullish regulatory framework for crypto in the short term. And I think that could be where we get a bottom at. But between now and then, even if this was a bottom, I don't see a lot of upside for Bitcoin in the short term here. I mean, with the extreme pressure of the traditional markets and a recession pushing everything down right now, I don't think there's a place you can really look right now and say, oh, I can put money here and make money in the short term. Yeah. I think everybody needs to be thinking long-term mindset at this point.
We do have to have a long-term mindset because, like you said, the gov, man, they're not working with us. They're working against us in every single way possible. And it's hard because people are scared of regulation, but I don't know if we could really regulate this market as much as they want to. Do you agree or disagree?
Of course, the only way that they can really disrupt it is from the inside, like what we saw with UST. So I think they're going to try to regulate all that they can regulate, and then anything that doesn't fall within their regulatory jurisdiction, they're going to try to find some other way to attack it. But I think we are, like, it is important to note that we do have people that are in the government, like Tom Emmer, Patrick McHenry, Cynthia Lummis. We do have people that are in positions of power in the government who are very bullish towards crypto and blockchain. We have Hester Pierce on the SEC, who's another one. So we do have people. So, I think at some point we will kind of see the sentiment on regulation turn towards more favorable in the government. Yeah. I think we do have to get, this is one thing I talked about, before we went on air, we talked about when I went to Sacramento a few weeks ago. Yes. So one thing I talked about while I was there with the lawmakers and the regulators I talked with was, we cannot let crypto turn into a Republican versus Democrat issue.
I agree.
This is not abortion. This is not, taxes. This is something totally different. This is not something where we need to try to pin people against each other, to say, it's not masks, it's not one party's for, one party's against.
Exactly.
We need to say no to that. Like, when you have people that are in your jurisdiction that are politicians, when they say stupid stuff, you hold them accountable. And they need to learn that the American people are not going to stand for this becoming a divided issue.
I agree. Crypto is for absolutely everybody. I hosted a Twitter Spaces. I don't get political either, but I had people from both sides of the aisle that were like, okay, we see why we need Bitcoin. We see why we need a money that the government can't control, but also something that is free, that we could all use, anyone can use. And it is, I don't know, do you still feel that Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation at this point? Because we're kind of like, trading with the traditional markets, which is something that bothers me on the inside a little bit. Like, why are we doing this? Like, Bitcoin is, I don't know, it should be trading the other way. We have to, this is why Bitcoin was created. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if you go back to the pandemic crash, everything got pushed down at once. And then we saw Bitcoin bounce back harder than everything else. And I think that's what we're going to see. When you look to judge Bitcoin as digital gold, when you look to judge Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, you can't do it by the day. Look at the yearly price. When you look at the average yearly price of Bitcoin, then it becomes very obvious it is a very strong hedge against inflation in traditional markets. But when you're in the momentum of a downswing, we have another big video we're putting out soon that is, comparing NASDAQ to Bitcoin. Everyone says right now, the stock market is exactly correlated with Bitcoin. It's going to always move the same way. Well, no, if you go back to 2018, that was a bull market for NASDAQ and a bear market for Bitcoin. What matters is the Bitcoin cycle. Bitcoin never has bounced outside of where it should be in the side of a traditional cycle. Bitcoin halving occurs 1.5 years of parabolic action, 1 year of gigantic drop, 1.5 years of slow tick back upwards. That's what we see. When that is broken and Bitcoin follows along NASDAQ and it's not doing what it's traditionally done, then we can have that conversation. But right now, at the end of last year, Bitcoin should have still been, the back half of last year, Bitcoin should have still been in a bull market and the price was going up. It just so happened coincidentally, the stock market was also going up. Exactly when it's time for Bitcoin to start its traditional bear market, the stock market crashes. So I understand from the outside appearance how people would look at it and say, oh, it's so correlated. But the fact is, Bitcoin and NASDAQ get correlated for periods of time together, but not over the long term. They do move away from each other.
Yeah, and I do want to ask you about how you did go to Sacramento.
Yeah.
What were your goals there? What was your real intentions, and what were their intentions down in Sacramento with you guys?
Yeah, so basically what we were going to do is meet with the majority leader of the assembly, the state house there in California, Senator Hertzberg. He actually, right before we got there, he had some kind of emergency bill he had to go sign. So we ended up meeting with his chief of staff and some other aides. And it was a great conversation. Like, we are really trying to get plugged into the political community. We've spoken to the state of Texas. We've had some talks with the state of Alabama. Hasn't turned into an actual meeting yet. We've talked with, now we've been to Sacramento. We've been at some of the most powerful states out there. And when we go, our point is to push blockchain and to get them to think common sense. Like in California, one of the things that we told them was, you have Tesla leaving. You have Oracle leaving. You have a lot of Silicon Valley companies leaving. How are you going to keep money flowing into the fourth largest economy in the world, which is the state of California? It's bigger than every other country's economy, except for three: the United States, China, and I'm not sure what the other one is. I don't know what the third largest economy is. Maybe Russia. I don't know.
What is the third largest?
That's a great question. Maybe India, possibly. But anyways, the point is we said, look, this is where you can bring blockchain innovation in, and this can be your next level of Silicon Valley companies. You don't want to stifle regulation and make these people run away. And I was very encouraged by the talks that we had. The people that we spoke to were very bullish on blockchain. They understood this is coming. It's more of a trying to get the old guard to see their way, not is this the new thing? It's more like just getting people on board with it. They're concerned about. And I think that, they were speaking about everything in bipartisan terms, which is good, which is what we want. That's what we just talked about a second ago. And I think that this is the kind of thing that, we need more people in this space doing. Like, if you are on YouTube and you're making videos and you're getting, millions of views a month or whatever, it's one thing, it's great. We're getting a message out. But at BitBoy Crypto, we try to move from influence to impact. And we want to impact things on a higher level, not just, hey, come check out how many views I got on my video. If we are not practicing what we're preaching and we are not, really being true like blockchain evangelists, then we're not doing our job.
Period. I love that.
Period. Yeah.
Influence to impact.
Yeah.
So what do you feel was, the impact that could be with the outcome of that meeting you had in Sacramento? Like, what do you think could come out of this?
Yeah. Well, the specific bill that we're looking at, that we were discussing with them is where they are going to be taking their vital records in California and moving them over to blockchain. So their marriage licenses, their land deeds, their birth certificates. And let me tell you a cool story. One of the guys that came out there with us, he is big in criminal justice reform. And he, when people hear that, they're like, what is that? What does he do? Does he go to, protest? Now, this guy works with people who have been in the prison system that need help. And one of these people, he had this situation where he went to, he was in prison for 25 years. He was like a teenager. He got into, I think it was a bar fight. He killed the guy. It was really bad, but he did his time. He was very sorry. He got out 25 years later. Well, the town where he lived got completely wiped out by a tornado. All of the records lost somewhere in the Midwest. All the records lost. The town literally does not exist anymore.
Wow.
And he got out and he could not prove his identity because there was nothing, there was nowhere his birth certificate was. And he couldn't get any other additional forms of identification to be able to show, who he was. And so they had to go through this really long process of trying to validate his identity. And he finally got his identity and he got a driver's license finally, or an ID, because of a lot of help from this gentleman who was helping him with the criminal justice reform work. But the point here is this: blockchain is forever. And so one of the pushbacks from some of the people in the assembly there is that, oh, well, there's all these blockchain hacks, like, we're afraid we're going to put these records on and then all of a sudden overnight they're going to disappear. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, that's what happens when you don't have records on blockchain.
Exactly.
That's what happens when you have a physical box with records in them in a building that gets destroyed by a tornado. So that's the big bill that we were helping them at. And then we're also looking at here at BitBoy Crypto sponsoring bills and maybe sponsoring a bill in California. We're very interested in crypto influencer regulation. Like, we're really interested in, because as someone on YouTube, you have sponsored video or sponsored segments, whatever the case may be. We don't know what we're supposed to be doing, right? If you're in the world of stocks, it's very clear. Like, yes. If you talk about a stock, within 72 hours, you cannot buy or sell that stock. Like, that's a law, true. Right? We don't have anything like that in crypto. And what it does is allows all of these loopholes and all of these uncertainties where people like me get attacked for things that we never did because there's so much uncertainty in it. So that's something I'm particularly interested in nailing down, is getting similar common sense laws for people that talk about crypto that we see in other markets. So that's something we're really taking a hard look at. I know New York just announced a like an anti-scam bill that in that contains some similar language regarding pump and dumps and rug pulls and stuff like that. That's stuff we've got to clean up out of this space. Yeah. I think over the next 2 to 4 years, if we can get rid of a lot of that through regulation and common sense laws, then I think we're all going to be much better off. And it's going to give the normal person much more confidence that who they're watching is doing the right thing.
I could agree with that, because, even like not even just like crypto influencers, actual celebrities were shilling, some.
They're the worst, because they don't even know anything about what they're talking about.
I know, and it's just like they're promoting these coins or tokens and whatnot, and
Ethereum Max.
That's exactly what I'm talking. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just things like that. That are kind of scary, and there should be some there's always like unwritten laws and everything, but I guess like maybe there has to be some actual written ones here. But what does it even take to sponsor a bill? That's something like so intriguing to me. What does that even mean?
Sponsoring a bill is very interesting. This is a lot of people have asked me if I'm running for political office. I don't think I don't think I'll ever do that, just because I don't want to attack ads that me and my family has to see. But I think we can be much more powerful on this side of politics, on the back end, and trying to lobby and influence the blockchain regulation the way we want it to be. But I have learned quite a bit about politics. And so sponsoring a bill basically means that what you do is you do the initial research. You pay for all, like as a private company or a private person, you pay for all the initial research to kind of put a loose bill together, because it takes a lot of manpower, resources, time, energy, research. And then after that, it gets passed off to the politicians, and then they can take it from there and they can kind of weed stuff out or put stuff in. But then once that bill does get passed, your name's always associated with it. So that's something that we would love to do. We love to do it in multiple states. And, it's very easy to understand that there's been a lot of good laws. Kentucky has got a lot of good crypto laws, Wyoming, Colorado, West Virginia. Georgia has some crypto-friendly laws, maybe not crypto-specific laws, but crypto-friendly laws that have allowed Georgia to actually become the #1 Bitcoin mining state. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, wow. I thought it was Texas.
No, over 1/3 of all Bitcoin in the United States is mined in Georgia.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to next week or 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, I'm going to tour Clean Spark, which is a very large Bitcoin mining facility here in the Atlanta area, and we're going to be doing an interview and a big video and everything like that. So, the point is that sponsoring bills to allow companies like Clean Spark to come in and flourish, like that's what we want, and it's just something that helps lift up the entire space.
What do you mind clarifying on what you find to be a good crypto bill?
Yeah, well, a good crypto bill is one that makes logical sense and has good arguments behind it, that doesn't get lost in jargon and crypto myths that are based on fear mongering. So we do know there was just a bill that was signed by 22 Democrats pushing forward the idea that Bitcoin is unfriendly for the environment and we need to change proof of work to proof of stake and all this nonsense. And I one of my soapboxes, is getting on the Bitcoin environmental bandwagon because it's just so laughable. Like if you use air conditioning, you have no right to talk.
Literally, you can go on a plane, anything.
Listen, 10% of all energy consumption in the world, 10% is air conditioning.
Whoa.
10%.
That's
in
insane.
In the United States, I believe the number is, I want to say it's 25% of all energy in the United States is washers and dryers.
Wow.
How insane is that?
That's pretty nuts.
You don't see people using clotheslines, right?
No.
Why? Because air conditioning and having a washer and dryer are net positives on the world. They save people time, they save people money, they save people, from having to do really hard manual labor, like scrubbing clothes on a wash rack, right? You got that nice thing right there. And it allows washers and dryers to be into the economy where people are able to buy them and sell them and, repair them. It's a market, right? So the idea is if it's a net positive, it's good and we can use it. You don't think Bitcoin's a net positive? Like you don't think it's a net positive? And if you want to compare, apples to apples here, gold mining uses significantly more energy than Bitcoin mining.
Oh, yeah.
No one wants to turn off the gold miners. Banks, physical banks and physical ATMs dwarf Bitcoin power consumption, which is the whole thing they're trying to get rid of. So if you look at it like that, if we were able to use Bitcoin to get rid of banks and ATMs, that's not only a net positive, that's a positive, right? Because you're taking away energy. You're actually using less energy than you were before, and you're doing something positive with it, allowing unbanked people to come into a banked world, a borderless digital economy. So that's what I mean by the common sense laws, like stuff like that makes no sense, that's based on lies. That's the stuff we don't need. We need stuff that actually fixes things, like the Vital Records Act in California. I mean, that is so obvious a use case of blockchain.
One of the best, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not controversial. It's not based on a coin.
No, it just is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like saying oh, you're not gonna go buy something on Amazon just because it's a store on the internet. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That it has the exact same vibe. Ben, do you mind picking out a zesty keyword for people to enter into the live chat to win a Ballet wallet?
Absolutely.
Yeah, give me a zesty word. What is it?
Stablecoin.
Oh Lord. Okay, Stablecoin. Guys, please enter.
That's a zesty
one.
one.
Oh yeah, top-notch zest right there. So guys, enter Stablecoin into the chat, and you will be entered to win a Ballet wallet. And I'll pick a winner. DM me your email, and then I'll set you up with the Ballet team. There we go. So enter Stablecoin. You guys got this, friend. I put it all as one word. So speaking of Stablecoin, while everybody is entering this zesty keyword into the chat right now, UST. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, people have, I can't joke around about the subject really. I don't think anyone can, considering that a lot of people did lose their wealth this week. But it is, it's a lesson that everyone has to learn, I guess, and, to diversify. But what are your thoughts on the whole UST incident? What kind of impact do you think it's having on the space right now?
So we recently had somebody that contacted us that were trying to get us into another algorithmic stablecoin. And they were just so adamant that you need to make this investment. It's going to be a great investment for you. And our response to them was, we have never had any success with algorithmic stablecoins. We have not seen one yet, in my opinion, that actually has been proven to work. And, it's funny. 2 weeks later, we get this. I don't trust algorithmic stablecoins. I haven't in a long time. We had worked with the company Benchmark Protocol when they were active. We had done some videos on reserve rights and Ampleforth and stuff like that. Unsponsored or anything like that. Just some research videos on those. And, I just think they're very complicated. And I think that this right here has proven that people need to be careful when it comes to experiments in the space. Guys, 18% is not real. You're not going to be able to get a guaranteed 18% anywhere. And if someone is telling you they can give you a guaranteed 18% on return, like they promised with UST and Anchor, the jig is going to be up at some point. And you see what happens when the jig is up. If you get out while the getting was good, then you made a lot of money. If you made money with Terra Luna and you took profits, you're doing fine. But, there may be some people watching the show. There are some people out there I know that are in a situation where this single-handedly tanked them. And it's very unfortunate to say this, but that would be your own fault. You cannot put all of your money into one coin. You have to diversify. We're really big on XRP on the show. We like XRP. We know there's some issues with it, but we believe you got to swim with the whales. But the fact is, the XRP community will ask me all the time, like, why do you not go all in on XRP? Go all in on XRP.
You can't.
No. I'm not going all in on anything. Why? Because of this. This is unprecedented in the space. We've never seen anything like this.
No.
The closest thing that we've ever seen to what we just saw was BitConnect. Ooh. BitConnect and Terra Luna are not remotely similar, but yet that's the only other instance we have of a top 10 coin going kaput like that. So BitConnect and Terra Luna now in the Hall of Fame for broken projects. And some people would definitely argue Terra Luna was a Ponzi scheme. Like some people would make that argument. They would say UST was a Ponzi scheme and it was proven the way that one, buy and sell could sink it of, I think it was $800 million, $1 billion, whatever it was. But I don't think so. I don't think it was a Ponzi scheme. I think it just had a flaw in their tokenomics. I don't think Do Kwon ever thought this would happen. I don't think he ever thought the jig would be up. I think he believed that what he was doing would work. So I don't put this in the same category as a BitConnect Ponzi scheme that we all knew was a Ponzi and people were warned about. And, once again, that was a very sad thing where people lost all their money, but there were plenty of warnings out there for people. The lesson you have to take at this point is you have to look at your portfolio and you have to look at every coin in there and you have to say, if one of these coins turns out to go to zero, am I financially ruined? And if the answer to that question is yes, you're not doing it right.
I'm with you, absolutely with you. I don't even know what the real story was with this because, Do Kwon, everyone's clipping this one quote of him saying that, 95% of the projects are going to die. There's going to be entertainment watching them die. And then, there was Charles Hodgkinson posted this message that he received about, what was going on. But meanwhile, Gemini did deny those allegations. BlackRock did deny those allegations. So what do you think was the real happening here? Do you have a clue? Or you're just like, I really just don't know because that's honestly me at this point.
Do you think they're going to confirm it?
But would there be, like, who are you talking about, Gemini and BlackRock? Or you're talking
Gemini, BlackRock, Citadel. I'm very confident all three of them are cohorts in this. I'm very
confident. You really
think
so?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
and the U.S. government. Yeah, and the U.S. government. U.S. government's definitely in this. Janet Yellen, her net worth is $20 million. She made 40%, I think it was $8 million, 40% of her net worth was made in 2020 giving Zoom speeches to banks. $8 million in Zoom speeches to banks. Those were straight up bribes, okay? The banks, BlackRock, Citadel, hedge funds, they all work hand in hand. Janet Yellen is squarely in the middle of this. It's not a coincidence she was already planned to speak at the Senate Banking Committee on Tuesday afternoon exactly while this is going on. And she's able to point it out. I believe there is a full conspiracy in tow here. But once again, we will never get the true answer. And, I made the comparison this morning of, when we were talking about this in the office, like here in Atlanta, we had, when the election was going on, and I'm not going to sit here and say the election was stolen or anything like that. That's not the message I'm trying to put out here.
No.
What I'm trying to tell you is there was a video from Atlanta where after all of the volunteers from the election left, 2 or 3 people went to a table, opened up a tablecloth, and pulled out boxes of ballots and then started counting them. Right? People have seen it, right?
Yes.
But it was debunked. It was debunked. Totally debunked.
As if it didn't even happen.
It didn't even happen. It didn't happen. What you saw with your eyes, you saw it with your eyes, exactly what happened. It seemed to be pretty obvious. Now, look, there might have been another explanation. But to me, that's super sketchy what happened there. Okay?
Absolutely.
And there was never any kind of like explanation of what you actually saw. So this is a similar situation here where it's very obvious that something is afoul here. I believe Citadel. I believe BlackRock. I believe Janet Yellen. I believe Gary Gensler. I believe the Gemini. I believe the Winklevoss twins. I believe that they are all involved in this. They all know exactly what happened. Even if on the blockchain we're able to show exactly what happened, you're able to see the evidence with your eyes, they will still come out and say, debunked. Why? All of these people control the media too. Remember that.
Wow, that's you're right. And even if they did do it, how would we know? Because even on the blockchain, was there any blockchain proof that any of this like really occurred? Like
I believe you can. I mean, you can definitely see the transactions on the blockchain. I believe people have found them. I believe so.
Yeah, because I always see like exposed threads on Twitter, so I'm hoping I find one of those about this, because this is it's actually crazy how Twitter's our news, but something like this to happen and intentionally wreck the market. Yeah. Like what? I mean, was this just to, like kind of, get rid of UST and, lower the price of Bitcoin so that way they could load up and get ready for the next bull run? Like, what would you think was the intention here?
This is about government bonds. So government bonds are what runs the entire world economy. Like, it's probably the asset class that the average person knows the least amount about.
Yeah, I don't. And it's right over my head, man.
So do you know what a government bond is? What a treasury bond is?
All I know about a bond is that it was something I saw when I was little that had a piece of paper that looked like money and said it was a bond, and then I never saw it again. I don't know where that is.
And look, if somebody would have asked me 2 or 3 years ago, I also would have had no idea. Like, so I respect that. What a government bond is the only guaranteed asset, is the only guaranteed investment that we have basically in the world. When you buy a government bond, you are going to get money back as long as one of 2 things occur. As long as your country still exists and it still taxes its people. You're really banking on your country to still be viable. As long as those 2 things are occurring, you're going to make 1 to 2% back on that investment. But of course, people don't factor in the inflation. You can actually be losing money on that investment. But what these government bonds do is it allows the government to take money in the short term that they can use for their budget, for the military, for wars, for weapons, for defense, for whatever they want to use it for. And then they don't have to pay you back until later. So they have to pay you back in 5 or 10 years. And then because of inflation, they're going to have in money printing, they're going to have more money to just pay everybody out, at that point. This is how countries finance their budgets. This is how countries finance what they do or through these government bonds. So the government needs people to buy these bonds. Well, this is where stablecoins are very problematic, because stablecoins are a guaranteed return. Okay, if you take, now I know Celsius has just changed to where new unaccredited investors can't do this, but when they had their regular their regular program, I forgot what it was called.
It was the Earn program.
The Earn program.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could take USDC and you could stake it 6% return you would get on Celsius over a year, APY, right? So if USD is backed 1-to-1 by US dollars, there's no way it can lose its peg, right? Now, temporarily, what we've seen USDC and Tether temporarily lose a peg it's just based off of volatility, liquidity, supply and demand. It's not really losing the peg. Tether, even when it lost its peg, honored every single Tether grant submission. People still got $1, even though it was at 94 cents or whatever it was. So they still honored every single person, every single Tether grant. So even though it lost its peg on CoinMarketCap, it didn't actually really lose its peg. Okay. Yeah. So as long as it's $1, if you're getting 6%, that's a guaranteed investment. That's a guaranteed investment. Well, why would someone, even someone who's risk averse, why would someone choose a 1 to 2% return over a 6 to 8% return? No one would do that. They would all want to move in, right? So the government does not hate Bitcoin staking. They do not hate Ethereum staking. They don't hate staking on volatile assets, because your people that are risk averse will not do that. They will still do the government bonds. But the stable coins are now competing with the government bonds. So what the government is trying to do is, through stablecoin regulation, stop stablecoin staking. That is what this is all about. It's not actually about the faith in a $1 peg for a stablecoin. It's about the government bonds. So I've been talking about this for like a year and a half on my channel, that this has been coming, and just slowly but surely it's been coming further and further and further down the pipeline. So that's really where we're at with these stable coins and the regulation. The stablecoin staking, I believe, will probably be stopped out within the next 6 months to 1 year.
Even on, things like Coinbase and Gemini, even they're doing staking on a ton of projects. So you think staking is just going to be
not staking, stablecoin staking.
Stablecoin staking.
Because
so
if you're staking Algorand, then it's volatile. People that are risk averse are not going to do that. So the government's not losing money from their bonds. But what they saw is people are starting to move from the bonds over to the stablecoin staking, and that is what they want to avoid at all costs.
Man, oh my gosh. All right, let's roll for the winner, because this is an intense conversation. All right, we have who we got? Oh, you won already. I can't let people win twice. Blockchain Bullish. If you're in the chat, let me know. If you respond in the next minute, then I will hook me up with your email in DM, and I got you. So Blockchain Bullish, please hit me back in the chat. Oh, Ken Bozak's here. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Ken?
Hi, Ken. Jimmy, Tom Allen, JMac, Waxy Pax, what's up? Bitcoiner, please visit his faucets, bitcoiner.me. OZ Crypto G, I see you're so active in here. Thank you for coming. Riley, Rising Dragons, thank you all for coming. This is an awesome show. Vinny's here as well, Ken's log. So yeah, Blockchain Bullish. If you don't get back to me in the next 30 seconds-ish, I'm going to re-roll, unfortunately. I want to make sure he had a good run. I just want to make sure we have a winner. So I'm waiting until this timer hits a minute, which is in 10 seconds. But Belay wallets are awesome. Do you have a Belay wallet?
I did at one time. I don't know what happened to it. I guess I didn't have any money on it.
Yeah, you should definitely get another one. If I see you, all right, I'm re-rolling. If I see you, then I definitely want to give you another one. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? So we have a winner. I don't know why my thing's lagging right now. Pally Torch. If you're here, then definitely send me a DM. So Pally Torch. Congratulations. And hopefully, if not, then we'll enter the word again, and people will re-enter the word in the chat. For some reason, my thing stopped rolling. So Pally Torch, you got this. And so, BitBoy, what are your thoughts on everything else going on right now? So long term, you're bullish, or you're, because you said we have a long time. We have November at, we might be experiencing a downtrend until November. So do you think that, long term we're going to be okay, or it's going to be when do you picture us hitting a new high potentially?
Yeah, well, a new high, we haven't mapped out exactly when we think that is going to be at. That'll probably be a video we'll do probably maybe in June. Just thinking quickly about where it should be, it should probably be approximately summer of, people aren't going to like this. People are not going to like this probably. Probably summer of, I I would say spring of 2025, probably when we're looking at new all-time highs. Sounds so far. Does not sound great.
That's like so long. Like I'm not going to be Miss Teen Crypto anymore.
You're not? What are you going to do? You going to rebrand? Miss Lady Crypto?
I'm always going to be Miss Teen Crypto. Like my handle will always be Miss Teen Crypto. I've been doing this for so long now. Like you've been following me since the start too. It's been like 2 years, like over 2 years actually.
Yeah.
Like
I remember everybody thought that you were like somebody else was controlling your account and all this stuff. Like she's a nice girl, leave her alone.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. But like I really appreciate you being there for me. And of course there were like others as well, but just to have someone like you by my side at that point was just really awesome. And because, you know, you've gone through a lot yourself and you know being at your status, you know, because you're huge, man. Like you're just like, I want to grow up and be like you know, and it takes a lot. You know, a lot of people don't see the hard work and dedication that goes on behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Like you're talking about right now making a video for June. Like you're already thinking ahead that over a month ahead, you're like, okay, I need to make this video. I need to get this done. Do you mind even sharing like what goes on like to make a video like that? You know, what kind of research has to be done? You know, like how much time goes into it between editing and all these crazy things? Guys, enter Stablecoin into the chat because our friend did not come in. So please enter Stablecoin. Please enter Stablecoin into the chat. I'm going to re-roll in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I think that you know, when it comes to the length of amount of time it takes to make a video, you know, now that on this channel, like we've gone to heavy live streams, and of course we do a nightly crypto news wrap up. They're like 3 to 5 minutes. They're pretty short videos, just catching people up on what happened during the day. We're able to put more time in our pre-recorded videos that are scripted. Of course, we have, you know, documentary style videos that, you know, we do as well.
Those are awesome.
So those take about a full month. So those are about a full month of production and editing. We have one right now that we're doing that's 6 months or 6 weeks worth of editing on it. So I do have like 60 employees here. About 12 to 15 work on BitBoy crypto stuff exclusively. We have people that, you know, we have our hands in a lot of things here as well. But you know, in terms of writing the videos, I get together with Nick, my main content developer. We sit down, we'll map out exactly what I want. I'll show him some charts, because one of the harder things about scaling your business is like I'm the face, but I'm also the busiest. And so I don't have time to do a lot of the stuff on the back end. You've got to rely on other people to help you. And so really sitting down and being able to map out exactly what I want, you know, that takes a couple days. And then of course the scripting and the shooting only takes a short period of time, but the editing, you know, can take a while sometimes. But it really is during this time, it's coming up with like, what kinds of videos do people need right now? Like,
exactly.
What videos do they need? It's, you know, a full review on how to use Binance is probably not a great video to do right now. You know, you need to do a video on like, when could we be looking at all-time highs again? What has Bitcoin traditionally done during this time? You know, what are some things going on in the government that might lead to different things for crypto down the road? Those are things that people care about right now, and that's what we really try to focus on. You know, we don't do like, look, we're just like everybody else on YouTube. We certainly use headlines and thumbnails for clicks like everybody else does. But we don't put out videos specifically for clicks. You know, the actual content that we make, it's very methodical and we think through it all. And I do want to, I don't feel like I really answered your last question, which was, you know, am I bullish for the long term? I'm giving you this really long period of time away where we're going to get new all-time highs. I've never been more bullish for crypto than I am right now at this time, right? Because there was a talk. I keep talking about this. I've said this on many shows. Like, I will never forget this. I went on Crypto Banner last year. I think it was in April. And I told them we would have a bear market this year. And they laughed at me. They said, oh, no, Bitcoin's too advanced now. Too much adoption. Too much this, too much that. Yeah. And they, you know, I keep picking on Rand. I love Rand. He's a great guy. I keep picking on Rand in that specific show. There were plenty of other shows. Michael Saylor laughed at me when I said there would be another bear market. Okay. Like, once again, love Michael Saylor. But like these people, they get of this idea that it's different this time. Well, so far, Bitcoin's never been different. It's never done anything different. So here's the scenario. If we were to not see a bear market, then that means that all the people that were already in were the people that would make all the money. But since we have seen another bear market and it potentially could get worse, this is an opportunity for all my friends in real life that missed out on crypto to get in. But opportunities for family to get in at prices they never dreamed they would be able to get in again. I think about these things, obviously my audience. And so it also pretty much guarantees our business model here at BitBoy Crypto, which is talking about crypto and the potential of it going up. Well, if there's no entry point for people to get in at, then it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how high it goes. More people aren't going to come in. So I think that these opportunities are really bullish. And I've been saying this all week. This week has really felt like just like a period where I can take a deep breath and say, okay, it's the same as it's always been. We're going to have another big opportunity. It's time to go get in the lab and try to work up the best possible scenarios for people to make money with crypto.
Absolutely. Because, a lot of people, what I find funny is that during these times, people are like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking broke, RIP, I'm working at McDonald's, all that stuff. And then, Bitcoin goes up maybe even 10, 15%. And they're like, yo, I'm driving my Lambo again, bro. It's like I'm at the shop, getting my Bugatti, whatever. And I think it's funny because that's exactly what's going to happen. Everyone's so bearish. Yeah. Everyone's got their butt hurt right now. Everyone's upset, Ben. Everyone's pissed. But then in like whatever amount of time, maybe it's December because we have until November for these lows. Yeah. Maybe in December around Christmas, we're all going to get new highs and it'll be our Christmas present. And everyone's going to go buy their families each a Lambo for each person, because they're rich again. So I don't know. I feel like, a lot of people, they're just like in that moment. And they're not thinking this long-term plan like you are.
Well, I think something that people miss is that, if you got in at all-time highs, like, yes, you're looking for Bitcoin to get back to all-time highs, like obviously, because you're heavy underwater and you didn't have any more money to put in. But there's actually a lot of opportunity at the beginning of prices going up. Like if we were to look at worst case scenario, Bitcoin goes down to $10,000 in November. Like, how long do you think it's going to stay at $10,000? Like, it would go from 10 probably back up to 30 in like a period of 6 weeks to 2 months, probably, right? Hover back above there, kind of like we saw with Bitcoin in 2018. It went from $7,000 down to $3,000 and then back up to $7,000, which was over a 2x, over 100% gains made in a very short period of time. Yep. So people shouldn't get lost in looking for the all-time highs again. That'll be great. That'll be fun. That'll be when it's the most fun. Everybody's buying Lambos. Everybody's doing the whole thing. I get it. But also, there's going to be a lot of money made at the beginning too, because you get a year and a half of the price slowly going up and a lot of good chances to make gains there.
Absolutely. JMac in the chat is saying top Bitcoin wallets accumulated. Yeah, people that have had experience in this space, especially people like you, Ben, that have literally, been pre-exchange, actually peer-to-peer Bitcoinering, which was actually crazy. What price did you tweet that you sold 6 Bitcoin at what, 1,700 you said?
1,700, yeah. 6 Bitcoin for $1,700. Yeah.
I never forgot that tweet. I tell everyone about that tweet.
Yeah. Well, what's fun for me is like, I was very, very early in crypto, but I didn't know what it was. I was just kind of like, I had to buy it for a software for a business I had. And, it wasn't like I was, I'm not a nerd. Like I wasn't like early in the revolution of Bitcoin or anything like that, but I was invested early, but I was using it as a currency. And it's fun for me to go back and find all those emails. I have the screenshot of my first Bitcoin purchase. I think it was 37 Bitcoin for $400.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So, and I have so many of those over a year period where I just, I was buying it to pay for this software.
Oh my gosh.
And it on one hand, it's like, it makes you sick. Well, I tell you this, in 2017, it made me sick. In 2017, I was sick over it. Now, I'm not going to say I have more money than I would have had if I would have just stayed in from the beginning, but I've had a lot more fun, and I'm doing like really cool stuff that I would have done. I'd probably just be on an island somewhere by myself. But, I think it's been more fun this way, but it's kind of fun to look back and cringe a little bit. Like, I thought when I sold those 6 Bitcoin, I met a guy at a McDonald's and over the Wi-Fi, I sent him the Bitcoin.
That's so crazy.
And, I still remember it was this Asian guy. We were over here in Georgia, and Localbitcoins.com was the site where we were doing peer-to-peer stuff on. And like, I thought I made off like a bandit. Like, I thought I had just made a killer move, you know?
Like,
and the funny thing was, Bitcoin went up, I think 4x within 30 days of when I did that. So if I just would have waited a few weeks, I would have got, closer to $7,000. And then I really would have thought I made off like a bandit. But I took that money and, took my little family on a vacation down to Florida to Destin. We spent $1,000 on a little vacation. I paid off a couple bills, and it was a good thing. But it is fun to look back at some of that stuff and just say, like, what if,
I mean, you had your fun and you took profits. A lot of people, like, especially, this UST Luna thing has proved to a lot of people that maybe sometimes when you want to take profit and go sit on a beach for a few days and sip a pina colada, that maybe you could. And you could take profits once in a while, because you never know. It could pull a Luna, and obviously, like, a lot of things won't do that. But it's definitely important to enjoy yourself, which you did, which is something that you don't regret, Yeah,
we had a good time. Like, I still remember that vacation, and
the memories. That's what counts, to be honest, more than the money.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at that point I just had 2 kids. I don't think my 3rd kid had been born yet, and it was fun times. We're getting ready to go on vacation again next month. So, you just go do it. We're going to the new the Star Wars hotel at Disney.
No way. Wait, this is the Cali one?
No. It's in Orlando.
So you guys are going down to Orlando. That's zesty.
Yeah.
So like they have a new like Star Wars hotel.
They do.
It's a whole new section of the park, or
it's a hotel. Like the hotel is the experience. Like, I mean, I'm sure you could go to the park while you're at the hotel, but like the hotel's got characters and different stuff in it. Like your room looks like you're in space. Like it's got a view. And, yeah. So we're really excited about it. The kids don't know, we're going to surprise them. So.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. I remember my dad used to surprise me, when life was normal and like cruises were a thing. We used to like to do those, and he would like, sit us down and be like, okay, guys, so we're getting out of here. And, it's just like a whole thing. I think that's really cute. You know, family vacations are everything. I don't know about you guys, but it's just like a nice time to spend like with your family. Maybe put down the phone, maybe not look at Bitcoin every 5 minutes. And like,
it's a great time to not look at the price of Bitcoin.
Exactly. Sometimes you forget. Just to hang out, relax, chill with the fam. How long are you guys going for? Is this like, a week affair or? Yeah, I'm
gone so much in June. My kid's got an out of town ball tournament, and then we have NFT NYC. Are you going to that?
Yes, I'm speaking. Are you speaking?
Yeah. I'm speaking.
Oh my gosh, can we find each other and watch each other?
Yeah, I missed you at the Bitcoin conference. I didn't see you down there.
Yeah, I didn't see you either. I was so sad.
I was only there 2 days though. I was just there 2 days. I didn't go in and out.
I stopped in the first one of the days of Bitcoin 22. I literally could not make it out of like the room, the expo room. It was so hard. And I actually met Jay Chains and his wife and his baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's so cute. Yeah.
My gosh, beautiful.
She made me and
family.
my wife think about having another one. So.
Oh my gosh,
She's
imagine.
very cute.
Yeah, you definitely would get baby fever looking at that one.
No,
literally
for sure.
Adorable. Oh my gosh. I'm sure the baby comes around the studio, no?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then we have Justin Williams, my head of NFTs. He also had a baby here recently, so we got 2 little newborns. And,
wow.
I mean, 6 months and under in the building here. So
wow.
I mean, they come once a week or so.
Crypto kids, they're all gonna grow up together and they're gonna have their own podcast on the BitBoy channel. It's gonna be
absolutely.
it's gonna be the 2nd gen BitBoy. Oh my gosh, that's actually insane. You Jay changed the whole office, can just hand off your entire empire in 20 years. It'll be absolutely ridiculous. Maybe they'll be like BitBoy teens. Bit teen cryptos.
Well, we're thinking about putting together like I think it'd probably only be 2 days, but over the summer here at the studio doing like a crypto kids camp.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I actually went back to high school 2 weeks ago to teach 2 investing classes about Bitcoin.
That's awesome.
Like that's stuff that needs to happen more because like a lot of these kids are interested. It's just the barrier to entry is extremely high for being under 18. Mm-hmm. Like it's almost near impossible. To get Bitcoin.
It really is. It's a video we've been looking at doing, which is how to invest for crypto for teenagers because it's hard. It's a question we get a lot.
And it's like even in New York, right? Like there's no Bitcoin ATMs; they're illegal, and if you find one, they're definitely like killing you with fees, or they'll like
Yeah.
overprice Bitcoin. Like if Bitcoin's like 40K, they'll write like 43 on the ATM.
It's ridiculous.
And murder you. Like
Yeah.
it's almost not even worth it.
Well, I think Bitcoin ATMs are extremely overrated, because there's only two reasons to use a Bitcoin ATM. Number one would be if it was anonymous and you wanted that anonymity and there was no KYC.
Yeah.
And number two would be if the fees were lower than somewhere else. Well, I don't know of any non-KYC Bitcoin ATMs that exist anymore, and the fees are all outrageous. So it's hard to really understand why people would want to use them unless, I think a lot of times what's happening with some of those ATMs is people are, having a third party go in there and do their illegal Bitcoin transactions for them, with their IDs. That's generally what happens.
Yeah, we need a
not all Bitcoin ATM activity is illegal,
not all.
But I'm just saying, like, there doesn't really seem to be a point of using Bitcoin ATMs for any other reason.
Yeah, other than being under 18, that's the only reason I was using them. And it's just like it's kind of cool, like the first time you do it, you put in your fiat, you put your phone up, and you're like, oh, it scanned my phone, all that cool stuff. I do see like actual paper wallets even being a thing, in a vending machine, you could get, even ZBD, right? I don't know if you ran into ZBD at Bitcoin conference, but they were handing these out. Literally a voucher for 1,000 sats if you enter this code. Guys, I'll put this in my Telegram chat later, but if anyone wants to redeem this for 1,000 sats, take a screenshot. And you should be good. But, even things like this, like being able to buy something like this out of a vending machine, I don't know, some easier way to stack sats because it's absolutely ridiculous. It's stupidly hard for teenagers. But someone wrote, can't teenagers cash in couch change at the Coinstar for Bitcoin on the East Coast?
I think so.
I don't even have a Coinstar near me, so I wouldn't even know.
Do you know what a Coinstar is?
Isn't it you put the change in there and then it counts your change for you?
They have them at like grocery stores around here. Yeah, you can either take cash, you can offer as a donation. I think now you can receive crypto for it.
Wow. Yeah. I did hear about that, but I don't have any Coinstars near me. I do want to try it, but again, we need something that's more accessible. We need an app.
Yeah.
DEXs are great, but how are you going to get the crypto in the first place to hit the
Absolutely.
DEX? And a lot of the DEXs is like, if you're looking at something like Uniswap, like I could only swap like ERC20s on there, and then you got Pancake Swap, but we need something that's like very much like interchangeable. Like we need where I could why can your child, right, use your debit card or credit card and go buy V-Bucks online, but they can't go and use your credit card to buy Bitcoin on Cash App?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
Great point. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same, but it hits my heart because it hurts. It hurts because if your parent is not in crypto like mine was, then essentially you almost have no way of getting crypto.
Well, I think it's a good lesson. You got to talk them into it. There you go. You get the true crypto education and you figure out a way to explain it to your parents in a way and just say, look, instead of $100 for my birthday, I'd like for you to give me $100 in Bitcoin. And then from there, once you have it, then you can send it to the DEX and then you can take it from there and do with it what you want.
Yeah. We need something easier.
Yeah.
We need
I agree.
But we're still extremely early because even all of the regulation that's going on right now, it's just such boomer stuff, you know what I mean? It's just the basic stuff, because even like you were saying, there are some good laws, but there's also some stupid ones that are just based on fluff and things that just aren't true, just a lot of misinformation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there are times when it feels like you're not early in crypto.
Yeah.
But in a bear market, it definitely feels like you're early in crypto.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the bear market, I always felt that we were early. Yeah. I mean, I literally hit the streets.
Well, but you've been in for a long time, though. Like, you've been in for a while. You have been in since what people would consider early. Now they say, over 20% have invested in crypto in some form or fashion in America, 30% of millennials. So what I like to tell people is, you may not be early in investing, but you're definitely early in understanding. And that understanding leads you to better investments. So a lot of people out there, they just went on Robinhood and they just threw some money in Bitcoin without even knowing what it was. Same thing I did in 2012,
Yeah.
But, getting that education, understanding what you're putting the money in, that's really where the true power comes in.
Absolutely. I'm with you. That was freaking perfect. That was perfect. thank you so much for joining me today. BitBoy, do you mind shouting out your channel? I know like last time I asked you where can everyone find you and you were like, oh, just look me up. But like, is that the same response this time? Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, pretty much. You guys can find me at BitBoy Crypto. If you just search BitBoy Crypto on any platform, we'll come up. Our TikTok account is being held hostage by TikTok right now. But
no.
Yeah, they it's a long story, but we basically got hacked, and then the person who hacked it got it banned, and it's a big process to get. We've been trying to get it back since the Super Bowl. It was the weekend of the Super Bowl. Since February, we've been trying to get it back. So
no way.
Yeah. So I think you can find us there. I think it's Real BitBoy Crypto on TikTok is our temporary account that we have over there. I think we got like 12 or 13,000 followers. We had 2.7 million on the other one.
Yeah, you were verifying and everything.
Absolutely. So it's very frustrating, but we think we're going to get it back eventually. But the one place I would ask people to check out is bitlabacademy.com.
Right,
this is our bitlabacademy.com. This is our educational resource. $29 a month. We have new courses added every single month. We got everything ranging from beginner to expert. We're actually going to be offering like pre-beginner courses soon as well. So like very, very new people that don't know what Bitcoin is, don't know what a blockchain is, give them a good like glossary of understanding of terms to move on to the next level. So, crypto education, definitely something we're very serious about.
Absolutely. We definitely need more education. I hit the streets all the time and people don't know what's going on. People don't even know what Bitcoin is. Some people haven't even heard of it yet. So guys, we're extremely early. This dip, don't take it to heart. Hodl with diamond hands. We're going to be okay. Soon everyone's going to say they're rich again of driving Lambos, but as of right now, there's going to be no yacht parties this summer. So let's all take the moment. We're going to go out. Let's go outside this weekend. Take a breath of fresh air. Look at some trees, maybe plant a flower and enjoy yourself. BitBoy, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Like you said, influence to impact. You're doing your thing on YouTube, absolutely grinding on there, which I respect so much. You and your entire team, and hitting Sacramento and talking to the government and all of these politicians and orange pilling them. Absolutely amazing. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, and I'd love to come back on sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely let me know when you want to come back. I believe I'll be joining you for Around the Blockchain soon, so I really can't wait to come back. I love joining you guys on your channel. So thank you guys in the chat for popping out. I see we have some new people, long hair 5150, Poppy, congratulations. I know you sent me a DM, Marky Mark, Dakota, Josh, a Mellow Fellow, which is another Josh. Thank you guys so much for coming. Bitcoiner, J-Mac, Randy, thank you for being amazing moderators. You guys are absolutely awesome. Please claim those NFTs in the live chat. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. Please do not forget to subscribe, smash the like, share this stream out if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And as always, stay zesty. Peace.
Good morning, crypto Twitter, it's Misty Crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included. It's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, making money at the same time, spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z. About to change the world, so y'all better get ready. Misty Crypto, I'm never backing down. I got a wax account.
Such an advantage over a lot of people.
So many NFTs, I think I lost count, and I'm only getting